Today in the program, category soon on screen, the next part of the smashing science fiction adventure film, the Divergent series, Allegiant. Recently in Almaty, there's been held a concert of classical music, Kazakh British trio. See the episode in the header art event. And in the category on the front line, we have been to the workshop of direction and editing, Action School. The hero of today's category, Master Has It, is the artist, Nelli Bube. An upcoming third part of the science fiction adventure film, the Divergent series, Allegiant, based on the series of novels by the American writer Veronica Roth. The heroes of the previous parts, Tris and Tobias, with a company of friends, leave their house for the first time. They want to know the truth and become free, but they directly get into the Bureau of Genetic Welfare. It turns out that in the past there was a genetic war for cleanliness. As a result, the world was divided into genetically clean and genetically damaged species. Scientists of the Bureau intend to reboot the system, that is to say, to clear the memory of all citizens. Tris decides to avert the catastrophe. The film stars Shailene Woodley, Zoe Kravitz, Naomi Watts, and others. Recently in Almaty, a marvelous concert, Kazakh British trio with the program Masterpieces of Romanticism has been held. The program included the works of the grand composers Beethoven, Brahms, Schubert, and Mendelssohn, performed by the talented Kazakhstani musicians Bulat and Botagoz Tanibekovs, and also the famous British pianist Sophia Rahman. These concerts are unusual to us in different senses. First, our life situation is that three of us are in geographically different places. Bulat is in Kazakhstan, I am in Switzerland, but I come here too, and our guest is from Great Britain. She lives in London. We had a good reason to reunite. Second, we decided to hold concerts in Switzerland as well. We've held 2 concerts in Zurich, and now we continue in Almaty. Then we're going to Astana, where we are performing at the Astana Opera. This program is for refined and sophisticated audiences, as these works are not so popular. They are familiar only to musicians and classical amateurs. Therefore, we wanted to perform these masterpieces in Kazakhstan with Sophia.
I first met Botagoz and Bulat in London when they were studying at the Royal College of Music. I liked them as people. I like Kazakhstan very much because I find the people very hospitable, very warm, and very open to outside influences, to foreigners, to strangers. If there's an interest in classical music, it can be incredibly rewarding. It's not something instant, and these days many things are instant, like coffee, like culture, you know, pop culture. It's very disposable, throw away, but classical music requires more input than that, so you need to prepare yourself sometimes for what you're going to hear, and so that you get more out of it. Or you can just come and enjoy, respond at the moment to the harmonies, the rhythms, the dynamics, and the interaction between performers, I think, is always interesting. to see, even if you know nothing about it. There's a lot to be gained from giving it a try, I think. I think culture should be accessible and available to all young people, people of any age, but the young don't necessarily know about classical music, and it's very important for us as artists to open a door to young people.
Recently in Almaty, there has been held a presentation of the workshop of direction and editing Action School. It was founded by the Kazakhstani director and journalist Allegiant. The main peculiar feature of education at Action School is a unique method of teaching film disciplines, which was elaborated in the 90s by the famous Russian directors Vladimir Finchenko and Vladimir Khotinenko, which is later taught by Vladimir Finchenko's daughter, the director Anna Finchenko. Today we present the workshop of direction and editing Action School at the Kazakh British Technical University. We invited our celebrities, our audience, potential students, so that they could understand the method of teaching in our school and why it is needed. I hope this school will open new doors to us and will present us new directors, new actors, and bring up good men. The program is based on a few dozen of exercises and sketches of various complexities. And the main method is primarily aimed at practical mastery of the profession. That is to say, our deep concern is that direction is a practical profession. You can't perceive it in theory. I can say it as a film director. So when you come to a shooting site, you remember skills, but not memories from books you've read. And our aim is to provide students with elements of the film language which can be used in speaking to the world with the screen and express their thoughts in this film language. Generally, this profession means eternal studying. No matter either on a shooting site or at a desk, but it is a profession which you can learn all life long, and you have to do it. This is probably because it implies a lot and includes very many things. I did the higher direction course at the Zhurgenov Academy with Anna Finchenko myself. To be honest, I didn't complete it because the process wasn't fully and properly organized, which is why we didn't perform many tasks. All the methods hadn't been tested on us, and after that, I had an idea to make such a course where we would give youth the chance to try the full course with all tasks. As a dropout director, he's even worse than the one who hasn't studied at all. The program lasts 1 year. It's a 1-year course. 9 months of it are continuous education, and 3 months are to do diploma work. Classes are held every day in the evenings. The classes are on related disciplines like dramatic art, editing mastery, acting mastery, and others. Teachers of related subjects are the best ones. Anyway, I've selected from those who I interviewed myself and those who taught me. We've just started work. So far, it's hard to say that we'll have in the future, but hope that students will shoot interesting works owing to the full complex of knowledge they get here according to this method. Creating pictures is a special skill. Every artist tries to find his own unique style using all possible techniques and various materials. Today in the category Master Has It, we have a well-known Almaty artist, Nelli Bube. The main theme of my pictures is the nomadic world, culture, and everyday life of nomads, moral and creative constituent part of this everyday life. First of all, I treat nomads as creative people, as they could work with materials surrounding them: wood, metal, felt, skins of animals, or which they made leather items. So I have a desire not just to admire all these things, but to preserve the spirit of nomadic creative art in my works. Generally, the nomadic world is a full harmony with nature, which is why in my works I use the materials that are also taken from the environment: creased metal, soft kinds of paper, and sand. In most works, Nelli Bube uses a mixed technique that combines various art materials and solutions. Every material has its own texture. Sand has got a good texture of grit, wood has beautiful fibers, and metal has its own texture: rusty, creased, so expressive that you don't have to do anything else. It's a finished item. Fabric has its own peculiarities. If you put some glue on soft paper, it transforms, shrinks, and takes a totally different form. All these materials give unique expressiveness if you use them right. For example, I wouldn't depict clothes of a Kazakh woman in my picture using creased metal. It's totally out of place, inexpressive, and silly. But with the help of soft paper and glue, you can get what you need. So, for instance, the bark of an old tree where a bird is sitting could be depicted by means of creased metal. It gives special sound and glow in the moonlight, and on the contrary, to make it matted in the daylight. That is to say, any material must work for the idea of a picture. One of the favorite themes of our heroine is the image of a Turk woman who is simple but mysterious. What means to be an artist to me? First, it's a big privilege. A big privilege given from above. And also, it's a big responsibility. There is a saying, who gets more is asked more. The Great Silk Road is one of the famous series of works of Nelli Bube, which is known to a great number of votaries of creative art. And second, it's when you feel like an instrument in someone's great hands, in hands of the universe and supreme mind. So you feel responsibility to be a good and worthy instrument. In our profession, there are no rules or recipes. You can't do just like this to get exactly this. Basically, there aren't any recipes in art. All this is a big experiment.